Hello, Dr. Smith. This is Nathan Wagu, and I'll be presenting to you my personality that I have created called the Rooted River Theory of Personality. And I will be narrating it based off of my PowerPoint that I have created as instructed in Canvas. After learning about Freud, Erickson, Bandura, Rogers, Maslow, and the trait theories, I have come to realize that I have agreed with almost every single one, but not one single theory kind of fully explain how personality develops to me. My theory combines ideas from several of them while adding something that I think is just important, our own type of choices. I believe personality begins with what we're born with, grows through our family and our culture, and is shaped by our life experiences and continues to change because of the decisions that we make through life. My theory has been around four parts and four foundations: the seed, the root, the river, and the compass, hidden the rooted river theory. The first part is the seed. The seed represents biology. Every person is born with genetics, brain, chemistry, and other different temperamented, things. Some babies are naturally calm, while others are naturally energetic or emotional. These biological differences gives us a starting point, but they don't completely determine who we become because it's based off of our experiences and choices that we make throughout life. People do change. The second part is the roots. The roots represent our family, culture, and early environment. Parents, siblings, teachers, traditions, and even the community that we grow up in all help strengthen our or weaken our emotional foundation. Our roots influence the values we develop and the way we see the world. The third part is the river. The river represents all of the experiences that we have throughout life: school, friendships, sports, success, failures, relationships, and difficult moments all shape our direction of our personality. Just like a river changes course of time, personality also changes. Like I said, some babies can be very energetic or calm, but as they grow up, things can change just based off of their experiences. Finally, there's a compass. The compass represents personal choice, which is very important. I think this one is the most important because two people can go through the exact same experience but respond totally different. The choices we make determine the direction of our personality and how it continues to grow. Our personality starts developing before we were even born because of genetics and biology from our parents and ancestors and early family members. During childhood, our family and environment have made a main or major influence on us. As we enter adolescence, we begin discovering our own identity and become a more independent type of person. However, unlike some theories that suggest personality develops in stages and then becomes mostly fixed, I believe personality continues changing throughout adulthood and even old age. New careers, relationships, become parents, experience loss, and learn the new things all continue shaping who we are. I do not believe personality ever completely stops developing as long as we're living and learning, because anything can change any day. One of the biggest questions in psychology is whether personality comes from nature or nurture. My answer and my belief is that it comes from both, but I also think that there's a third factor, which is personal choice. Biology, bi, bio, Biology gives us our natural tendencies. Our environment teaches us behaviors, beliefs, and values. And our own decisions and how we respond is what really makes everything that happens in our lives happen, in my belief. So instead of saying personality becomes from nature or nurture, I believe personality develops from nature, nurture, and all the personal choices that we make as we experience and learn and live throughout life. My theory shares ideas with several personality theories that we studied this semester. I agree with Freud that childhood experiences are very important, but I don't believe that child experiences completely determines our future because things can change. People can grow up in a bad environment and either be a product of their environment or they can grow from their environment. Anything can change as life goes. I agree with Erickson that people develop throughout different life challenges, but I don't believe development truly ends because everything can change. Mindset changes every day. You can wake up one day and feel one way. By the end of the day, you'll have a whole different thought process, just depending on how things go that day. I agree with the trait theories that people have stable personality traits, but I think that traits can gradually change through meaningful experiences. Say, for instance, you have a loss in the family, or just a tragic event. Things can really change drastically based off of that. Your mindset, mood, direction in life, anything can change. I also agree with Karen Rogers and Abraham Maslow that people naturally want to grow and improve themselves. However, I believe that growth depends not only on our desires, but also on our environment, opportunities, and choices. Mostly choices, though, because choices is really what gives direction to anything in life, in my opinion. If you think about it, hopefully you can agree with me or kind of understand the perspective on that. Finally, I agree with Bandura that we learn from observing other people, but I think biologically and personal decisions are equally important. I think from observing, basically that's what our parents, most of our early upbringing and natural tendencies come from just strictly observing our parents. If you think about it, some of the things that you just do and don't even think about just comes from your parents, if you think about it. I think football is a good example of my theory, and I play football, so I'm pretty educated on this part of it. When I first started playing football, I already had certain natural personality traits like being competitive and determined. Those were really picked up from my dad and just biological things like how I just talked about before, how things can just pick up from observing our parents. I feel like that's where I got that from. Then my coaches, teammates, and practices helped me develop qualities like discipline, teamwork, and accountability. The challenges I faced during practice and the games made me the resilient person I am, and I feel like it can carry over to other things of life also. At the same time, I still had choices. I could have chose to quit and become anything else when things became difficult, or I could continue to work hard and improvement. Those choices became who I am today, and I'm glad for them. But I didn't see it at the time, but as choices and things happen in life, I kind of gradually just changed. Football didn't completely change my personality, though. It kind of just shaped who I am today and gave me a certain type of direction in life that I'm grateful for. One reason I created this theory is because I wanted to explain why people with similar backgrounds can become very different, as we have seen in previous things. Some people think people are just products of their environment, but people have been in the same environment became a whole different product. Imagine two brothers who grew up in the same house, attend the same school, and experience the same events, but have totally different directions. Like one of my football coaches, him and his brother, he talks about it all the time. Him and his brother had the same upbringing, but he went this way and his brother went that way. So that's basically an example. I don't want to get too in depth because that's his personal information. In conclusion, my theory, the rooted river theory of personality, is made because I believe rivers are like supported by deep roots, which goes all the way to childhood and all the way up. But I feel like choices and things of that nature are very deeply rooted and very beautiful in life and becoming who you are as a person, whether you know it or not. Thank you.